Happy New Year!
Ooh.
Where's your party popper? You're supposed to bring a party popper.
I'd forgotten I was supposed to do that.
We thought we'd have a look at the players and clubs' New Year's resolutions for 2020. Ian, what's your New Year's resolution?
To remember things?
That's right. And? To stop
yeah.
stealing forks from the canteen. You're a fork magpie.
Yeah.
Have you got any New Year's resolutions we've missed? Put them in the comments below. We'll probably look at them.
We probably will.
Gareth Bale's resolution is to become obsessed with a brand new sport. He's mastered golf, he's mastered mini-golf, but there's room for one more, Ian.
Oh, definitely, yes. And it would be great if he could annoy the Spanish fans even more by adopting a sport that requires him to totally change his physique.
Something like sumo wrestling, for example.
That would be perfect, yeah, or multiple marathon running, so he's got tiny little legs.
Premier League teams to stop hiring your ex-players as managers on a permanent basis. It works temporarily. Look at Duncan Ferguson, look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It doesn't work permanently. Look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Well, I think because it's proven that an ex-player gives a temporary lift, it lasts about 2 games with his squad playing out of their skin and then it drops off. Just keep employing ex-players on a 2-game basis.
How long would that last until you run out of players at a club?
I think a good few years. I mean, look at Arsenal. If they started now with Mikel Arteta for a couple of games, you'd have at least 25, 26 years until you're appointing Emmanuel Frimpong.
Man City to solve their defensive problems with the ultimate splurge in the transfer window, Ian.
They've been burnt in the transfer window before, Anthony. If they just buy a single defender and he turns out to be rubbish, they're in the same mess. I think that's why they're buying whole football clubs these days.
So if they can get a jersey big enough, I think they're going to try and fit a whole football team in each jersey. Maybe next season we'll see them fielding a back three consisting of Melbourne City FC, New York City FC and Mumbai City FC.
Klopp and the team's resolution at Liverpool.
Simple, don't mess this up.
And what about the fans?
They'll be looking to be as unbearable as possible.
Leicester's is to make all the doors and the entryways at the King Power wider to cope with Brendan Rodgers' ever-expanding head. They did have Harry Maguire.
Yeah, they already had quite wide walkways, but when Brendan Rodgers first started to do well, his head got stuck in the tunnel, so they had to make it that little bit bigger. It's now got so big that they don't need a roof on the King Power. If it rains, Brendan Rodgers just stands in his technical area and leans forward, keeps everyone nice and dry.
For Chelsea, flouting the transfer rules worked. They got banned for one window. It forced them to develop young players they already had. Now they can spend to reinforce. It's almost like how a normal club operates. They should aim to get banned for every other window.
Along with finding a way of beating Bournemouth. And as for their fans, their resolution should be to up their game on the signs. We don't want to see any more used bedsheets.
Sam Allardyce to change his name to something foreign to give him a chance at managing the big clubs, Ian.
Sam Allardyce, would he have been more successful as a manager, managed bigger teams, if he'd changed his name to something foreign? Samuel Allardyce, perhaps?
I think if he'd changed his name, if he'd changed his nationality, if he'd had a personality transplant, and if he'd had a complete overhaul of how he approached football, then yes, I think there's every chance he would have been very successful. I think Manchester United's resolution should be to develop special glasses for their fans, glasses that block the top half of anyone's vision to stop them looking at the top half of the Premier League.
Or they can finish 10th as they're going to, and then you can fold over the table in half so that they're top of the league, cross out the 0, and they've beaten Brighton to the title.
Or use the glasses.
Arsenal's resolution is to persevere with formations that allow for no active defenders in the match whatsoever. That seems to have really worked for them in 2019. Players to stop giving your shirts to young fans with signs. Ian, you think it's part of a criminal underworld of reselling on the black market?
Yeah, I'm saying to players, look, just because some 8-year-old has used 3 different coloured felt tips to make their sign doesn't mean they're not a criminal mastermind.
They're ruthless, aren't they?
They are ruthless. They are selling these on eBay. These are changing hands for 3-figure sums.
Joe Hart gave his shorts away. Is that a good way of clamping down on this behaviour?
Absolutely, yeah. There's no market for shorts.
Ronaldo, he's endorsed a lot of products, but you think there's potential to endorse more?
Yeah, there are a few products he hasn't already endorsed, so if he's going to expand his portfolio, he's got to start to think very creatively and endorse things that have never been endorsed before.
Like air.
Gravity.
The concept of love.
Time travel.
VAR.
No.
Neymar to find a team that monopolises their domestic competition even more than PSG in France.
West Ham, stop doing the crossed arm symbol. Nobody looks good doing that.
And while you're at it, your owner wears this jacket with what look like bits of cereal box attached to it. Cut that out. We all like cereal, but we don't want to wear it.
Stop it.
And finally, Brighton and Crystal Palace to continue your vicious, vicious rivalry.
Well, steady, Anthony. There's a limit. It's already pretty intense.
We're not that fond of you.
Well, I'm not keen on you.
Enjoying these crisps, but where will I put the empty packet, huh?
In the bin.
In the bin at Selhurst Park? I think you'll find the whole place is a bin.
Oh, it makes my blood boil, that does. I'm going to post some very strongly worded messages on your forum.
So, those are our New Year's resolutions for 2020.
Happy New Year!
Oh, well done, you remembered it.
Remembered what?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.